Too much paint on that, too much gold. Right. Don't know how much you can see of this. I hope you can. Well, there we are. That's one. And my honest opinion of that is that it's pretty awful, just simply because my hand's not steady enough. But I think, as you can see, it's pretty awful and splodgy. But I think that when it's done and it's wire-wooled down, it'll be somewhat similar to this, which is what happened before. It was pretty splodgy, and I'm hoping it's going to be just a bit brighter and better than the original, which is tarred. It doesn't really stand out, and some of the finer lines are completely lost in gilt. So I'll come back. I've got to do the other three, and then I've got to leave it for 24 hours. Then I'm going to wire wool it so that I get the same sort of effect as this, which is not bad here. And that I think is quite acceptable, especially when it's not quite so clearly magnified. Then I'll buff it and polish it with more wire, with more beeswax, and I hope it'll present itself as being, you know, a pretty good looking clock. So back later. Bye. Well, I've re-gilded it pretty well everywhere, including the bit that I did initially, because I felt that you're only going to get gold where you put it, and where it's extra it'll be leveled off and you should be able to remove it. So, and I noticed on this section here I had skimped a bit at times, but now it's pretty bloody awful, frankly, and if that doesn't clean off properly I've got a headache, but I think it will. Oops. There we are. So I'll leave it for 24 hours now and come back, clean it off and see how it goes. Back later. Very fine grade wire wool to remove the excess. Now I'm going to do it with a very light touch, just as if you're stroking it with a feather. You can see that before the gold had run over. Now I'm just giving it a very circular and very light touch, and you may see that the lines have become more defined. And this little area here I hope will become more defined. If I find a little, maybe a hard lumpy bit which will just go in. I think that's pretty good. Yes, I was splodging around, and that is now, I hope, much clearer. And you can see from the next one I'm bringing around what it looks like beforehand. Really very splodgy. I'll do this one. It didn't take long, and you do it very, very lightly, just concentrating on making sure that the gold which is blocking that section of the diamond there is taken off the raised pieces, the high pieces. You can see this is real time, and it really is, you just do it so lightly. I've never done it before, but this seems to be working very well. But you've got to make sure that any little bits which are on the flat surface, you attend to them. So that's that. And then these areas which were there, which were gold, they've now got little black diamonds in the middle. I wondered how they did it. I thought they must have been very patient. Yes. So let's have a look at this one now. This is the last one. See, there's an awful lot of splodge on that all the way around up here and in there. So I'll do that one That'll be the last one. And you can see how it just eases it off. I'm doing it very, very lightly. Just paying attention to anywhere where it's gone onto the upper surface. Making sure that you get it off. I've left some there. I've got to get that off. You don't press. You just do it as lightly as you can. Now, I'm happy with that. So now, very light polish. Right, I did this section earlier on down here and polished it. It came out pretty well. So now I'll polish these. So the gilding of the decorative pieces